name of God, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, that I will faithfully and conscientiously discharge my duties as Prime Minister for the Union, and that I will do right to all manner of people in accordance with the Constitution and the law, without fear or favor, affection or ill will.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Politics First. 9 years ago, the Congress initiated a unique style of governance, one that has been slammed by the opposition time and again as a dual power center arrangement.
That's right, Nandita. Sonia Gandhi as head of the coalition and Dr. Manmohan Singh as head of the government. In fact, so satisfied was the Congress with this formula that in 2009 they broke away from tradition and announced for the first time Dr. Manmohan Singh as a prime ministerial candidate.
That's right. But something has changed, and changed quite dramatically, isn't it, Madhav, in the last 4 years? Dr. Manmohan Singh is no longer seen as Mr. Clean. In fact, his governance has come to be associated with indifference and corruption. Leaders in the Congress party like Digvijay Singh have openly questioned this dual power system. And increasingly, there is a sense within the Congress that perhaps Dr. Manmohan Singh has reached his political expiry date.
We will explore that relationship in the next 30 minutes, as a section of the Congress feels that Dr. Manmohan Singh's image has been tarnished beyond repair. And has he been isolated within his own party, as there is a growing perception that he should step down before the next general elections so that these elections can be fought with a fresh perception of the government.
Suresh Kalmani's wings have been clipped.
All the controversial licenses has been quashed.
Prime Minister is not at fault. The government is not at fault.
A scam a day.
One day! One day! With each passing hour, the number just keeps on increasing.
A crisis every fortnight. The man who's credited for an election win in 2009. A person who was the face of the Indo-US nuclear deal. 9 years since 2004. The Economist PM's position is in a state of meltdown.
In October, you said 90 days for the CWG probe. It's far more than 90 days, Mr. Prime Minister. We know no chief conspirator. All the smaller functionaries were put in and they have been let off. They've not even been charge-sheeted. Do you feel disappointed with the progress in the CWG investigation which let the nation down in October, given your own promise?
Well, I think we are trying our very best, but we have to do the due process of law. The wrongdoers will not escape this time.
Senior journalists in Delhi have been regularly getting inputs from their sources over the past few days.
You know, in the relationship with the congressman and the prime minister has always been problematic, because I don't think any congressman, right from the bottom to the top, wanted Manmohan Singh to be prime minister. It was sort of thrust on them. So the Congress people have never accepted Manmohan Singh as their leader, and it's very clear that he's not the leader. Their leader remains, earlier it was Sonia Gandhi, and now gradually that's shifting to Rahul Gandhi. So there is this dichotomy. The party men do not have loyalty towards him, but Sonia Gandhi does. So the prime minister's utility depends on how far Sonia Gandhi and he, the unique rapport they share. If that ends, then Manmohan Singh's innings is over.
For the last 9 years, and especially the last few years, Dr. Manmohan Singh has been publicly seen defending the tainted. Has that hit his image beyond repair? The opposition party feels and perceives it as Prime Minister developing an appetite to tolerate corruption.
Sonia Gandhi has made it quite clear she does not want Ashwini Kumar and Bansal to continue. The Congress party, which obviously has become more resurgent after the Karnataka elections, is asserting itself more. and is telling the government that it is not in your interest and we don't want Ashwini Kumar and Pawan Kumar Bansal
So are you
to continue.
suggesting that there's a rift between the party
we
and
are
the
suggesting a resurgent Congress putting the Prime Minister in his place, perhaps?
Why I say good governance? You exercise your authority as a leader. You ensure transparent governance. You are willing to take hard decisions. You are willing to sacrifice errant ministers. But for opposition pressure, media campaign in many measures, your channel included, and intervention by judiciary, no action would have been taken under any circumstances.
There has been no allegation of corruption, favoritism against the Prime Minister. He still remains one of the cleanest political personality in Indian politics. So therefore I think it is not correct to undermine the personality or the image of the Honorable Prime Minister.
More than the PM shielding, particularly in the Colgate thing and in the CBI, dealing with the CBI, in both these issues the PM was involved. So the deal of suspicion in pointing to the PM is because of these substantive factors in the cases.
Outlook magazine's Vinod Mehta has just learnt about a story about the hands-off approach of the PM. Also on how a section within the Congress has lost faith in the Prime Minister and wants him to go.
No, I don't think he has a completely hands-on approach. He trusts his advisors or his aides, perhaps trusts them too much. He seems to be a bad judge of people. I mean, I'm not giving you any secrets when I say that Mr. Ashwini Kumar had a terrible reputation before he became minister. So supposing, I mean, I'm assuming that Ashwini Kumar goes to him and says, I'll look after the coal problem, you don't worry. Now, any other person would have, Prime Minister would have asked, very good, but what are you going to do? I think the second part he would not ask. He would say, you would trust him, and you would trust him, of course, not to do something illegal, but he would say, okay, you are going to do it, you do it. He's a bad manager. Everybody has to manage things in the end, but he's a bad manager.
Each passing day only confirms that impression or apprehension, as you wish to call it, because increasingly for the last, if you could have noticed, for the last 3 years, his senior ministers are pitching for Rahul Gandhi as the Prime Minister. Though there has to be periodical clarification by the party, there is great degree of unease about him in his party itself.
But so some say that he's lost the political backing of the Congress party. Is that true?
Absolutely incorrect. In fact, the Congress party has stood like a rock behind Dr. Manmohan Singh ji, and I can assure you, I've been in the know of the functioning. Congress President does not at all interfere in the functioning of the Government of India.
15th May, a warm Wednesday in Guwahati. The Prime Minister is to file his nomination papers. A record 5th term to the upper house from Assam. Cong General Secretary and Assam in charge Digvijay Singh is by his side. Students' groups are upset. They say the PM has failed to bring development to the state that he has been representing since 1991. Even the local media is upset for not being allowed to cover today's proceedings. The PM finally speaks up.
Assam has done me the unique honor of electing me to Rajya Sabha. I have been a member from Assam for nearly 21 years, and I can never repay this debt of gratitude to the people of Assam.
So what has really gone wrong with Dr. Manmohan Singh's image? Why is it that wherever he goes, he's greeted with protests? Why is the Mr. Clean image suffering irreparable damage? Why is it that UPA chairperson, Congress President Sonia Gandhi has to intervene to get the Prime Minister to make ministers like Pawan Kumar Bansal and Ashwini Kumar resign pending inquiry? What really has happened over the years and changed over the years? Is it the Prime Minister or the expectations of the Congress from the Prime Minister?
RPN Singh, first-time Congress MP, Minister of State for Home Affairs. He feels that beyond the politically obvious, the UPA too has reasons to celebrate.
Just coming back from my constituency, and the kind of development work that we have managed to do in these last 4 years is something at the ground that people are very appreciative of. And I think it has been more in the media about how this government could have done better.
Why the media has been hostile to your government? Because it couldn't be without reason.
Wherever any individual has gone astray or not done too well in this government, the government has taken strict action against those gentlemen. Nobody in India believes that his integrity is in doubt. He is one of the most honest politicians that we have, and he has contributed along with Mrs. Gandhi.
So you don't feel that that Dr. Manmohan Singh has become a political liability for the Congress party? And this murmur about a section in the party saying that he should be replaced in the last 1 year, is that true, or you feel it's complete speculation?
I think that's only speculation, and there is no thought process in that way.
TMC leader Dinesh Trivedi. He raised the rail fare in the 2012 rail budget, breaking away from his party's official position. Back then, he perhaps felt the Prime Minister's pragmatism was more important than his own party's populism. His party sacked him.
No, a Prime Minister is a Prime Minister, and in a cabinet it is a Prime Minister, and all the colleagues in the cabinet, they matter. So in democracy, it's never a single voice, then it's not democracy.
Prime Minister as a leader was with your decision or proposal.
That you cannot have any budget passed without the sanction of the Finance Minister and the Prime Minister. We are not intelligent enough to understand that in a democracy, even within the party, difference should not be considered as defiance.
I mean, Dr. Manmohan Singh has his quality, has a certain, predilection, in the sense, I mean, he's got certain very strong views. All these 4 years virtually have gone into dealing with one scam after the other. I mean, that is what has been the major preoccupation. And anybody would be a harassed individual if you have to deal with all such scams. I won't place anything as a personal attribute, but I think the circumstances have become such that it's difficult to steer this boat.
There has been so much speculation about the fact that the party does not support the Prime Minister as aggressively as it did, say, in 2009, where he was a main vote catcher for the government, but now it feels that he's perhaps become a political liability. Do you agree with that perception as a partyman?
No, he is worked, it is in tandem with the UPA president, and the kind of things that this government has managed to do, be it the kind of social reforms. These are huge steps that both of them in tandem have taken.
The Prime Minister of a big country like India must be a natural leader of India. And I'm sorry to say, Dr. Manmohan Singh was never a mass leader. Even now, in the 10th year, he has chosen to take the Rajya Sabha route. Good luck to him. His two USPs, a good economist and honest image, both have suffered a serious dent when India has been reduced to the most corrupt government since independence. If that is the case, I'm surely it will impinge on his political stature as well.
Since the inception of UPA, two major allies, the DMK and the TMC, have broken ranks. The ones who still remain muted in their defense of the Prime Minister.
Well, it happens when you lead a coalition government. This type of problem always arises. And I think because TMC and DMK they have their own problem. They represent their regional aspiration. So it was their compulsion, I think, to take a stand on those issues.
The chairman of the Congress media, Sel Janardhan Dwivedi, coming out in defense of the Prime Minister, rubbishing reports of any party government divide, saying that the PM will remain till 2014. Is this then the writing on the wall? This far and no further for the Prime Minister?
फिलहाल प्रधानमंत्री के पद का सवाल ही नहीं है। सरकार चल रही है, प्रधानमंत्री हैं। जहां तक कैंपेन का सवाल है या लीडरशिप का सवाल है, अभियान का प्रश्न है, चुनाव अभियान का प्रश्न है या चुनाव के बाद नेतृत्व का प्रश्न है, इसका फैसला पार्टी बाद में करेगी।
In the coming election in 2014, it's very unlikely that he'll be projected again as Prime Minister. But I don't think there's any great difference between today and 2006 or 2007. You know, the Congress party, by and large, they're not very happy with Manmohan Singh.
So you think that he has another chance in 2014?
No, I mean, unless there's a miracle. The party has already made it clear that he's there till 2014. Otherwise, the party would have said, well, he continues to be our Prime Minister. They have put the date. I don't think he will now even want to, after the way he's been damaged.
Youth Congress workers clashing with the police. They want to protest outside the BJP office. They are miffed over the attack on the Prime Minister.
If it rains too much, they want his resignation. If it rains too little, they want his resignation. If the gold prices go down, they want his resignation. So in fact, it's become a joke. You know, and I can understand they still haven't got over their loss in the last elections, and that is why they take their frustration out on the Prime Minister, because they pitched the whole campaign on how the country has a very weak Prime Minister, and the government and the public gave them a befitting reply to that. I think that is something that they have never forgiven the Prime Minister for. So I think they keep asking for his resignation.
I'm sorry for making this comment, but Dr. Manmohan Singh has always excelled as a study of someone. Mr. Narasimha Rao was the Prime Minister. Then he sought to excel as the Finance Minister in terms of opening of India's economy. During the Narasimha Rao regime, some people made some allegations against him. He publicly resigned and he had to be persuaded. There is so much have been wrongdoing. Has Dr. Manmohan Singh shown that instinct of resignation and owning up accountability even once?
If you are at the top, sometimes when things don't go right and whatever tough decision you are supposed to take, you better take it. I was also quite disappointed that why? I mean, power is not permanent. Power for the sake of power is vulgar.
And that is where the Prime Minister is failing to...
I can't comment on him. I leave it to his judgment. You see, in public life, we live by perception. And perception of the people is sometimes greater than the real stuff.
So this whole idea that the PM is isolated, that he is not being supported, you completely think that that is not something that is actually there on ground?
I don't think he enjoys the full support of the Sonia ji and the support of the Congress party.
I think that decision would rest more on him personally, rather than the party saying no.
Forcing many to think, despite the clamour for his ouster from within a section of the Congress, has it become party's compulsion to placate Singh? For the party president, has Manmohan Singh become the Tina factor?
Do you think that there is no alternative to Prime Minister Manmohan Singh at this moment, and that's why...
There's always a question, after Nehru who, after Gandhi who, after Indira Gandhi who, and we have to trust the people of this country. They'll always throw up leadership. So there is never a vacuum.
All this only reinforces his pathetic condition. What has happened to India's governance? That is a very important aspect which Dr. Manmohan Singh cannot overlook as far as any judgment on his leadership of the country is concerned.
Congress has a background, a history. This type of controversy comes, I think this is not correct.
In 2014, when the campaign really starts in a big way, is it going to be Rahul Gandhi who's going to lead it? Is it going to be Dr. Manmohan Singh, or is it going to be Mrs. Gandhi?
See, it will be led by Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, there's no doubt about it. But by the very fact that Mr. Rahul Gandhi has been made the in charge for planning for 2014 campaign and campaign strategy, it means that that Mr. Rahul Gandhi would be at the helm of affairs as far as campaign goes.
They've decided, it seems to me, that they will continue with Dr. Manmohan Singh, because whatever damage has been done. Because you see, to lose the Prime Minister is a big drop. I mean, look at the propaganda mileage for the opposition.
From Teflon PM in 2005 to being called weak in 2013. From the man who had his way in the nuclear deal to battling allegations of being hands-off, his own party is now skeptical. A section blaming him for the tumult. Is this the ungraceful end to a celebrated career?